Good evening. My name is Seth. Seth Kniep'n It Real. I don't care if you are 100,000 in debt, you have $10 to your name, or 100 million. No matter where you are on that spectrum, my goal is to teach people how to take something very small, or no matter what size it is, and turn it into something much bigger. And I teach this right now through Amazon and eBay and online e-commerce. I absolutely love teaching people how to do this because this is my story is all wound up in this. I was broken. I was tired of working for my boss. I just so badly wanted to fire her and just leave the company. I felt like my ideas were never being listened to. I felt patronized. I was doing so much for the company and and I would get a 3% raise and a 4% raise. And it was the pay I was getting was not commensurate to the work I was putting in. And I knew I can do better than this. And so finally I did it. I hit the red button. I hit the eject button, I should say. I fired my boss, and today I am so happy to be an entrepreneur. It's been hard. There's been very hard days, but it's also been totally worth it. One of the riskiest, yet most satisfying things I ever did in my life. Today I'm going to explain to you exactly how to write killer product descriptions. Now here's the number one most important thing to remember. When you build your product description, when you explain your product online, you need it to focus on how it makes people feel. Do not focus on features, focus on benefits. Let me just give you an example right now. Watch this. Okay, right here, this burner oven gas cooktop, the first thing it says is gas type, compatible with LPG and NG. Doesn't that sound exciting? Something you want to really, call your mom about and tell your friends about and talk over a beer about. It's just technical facts. Now, those facts only matter in so much as I, the viewer, can see how it benefits me. If I don't know what LPG and NG is, we have a problem. They need to explain a little more. Right here where it says burner cap iron. Who cares if it's iron? I mean, it could be cardboard for all I know. Why does it matter that it's iron? Tell me why. Does iron hold its heat longer? Hold your heat longer. So it causes the cook to slowly go down as you're cooking that filet mignon. See what I mean? Here's a really good test to find out if your product description is good. When you read it, do you get excited about it? Does it hit you emotionally? Does it make you feel a certain way? If it bores you, throw it out and start over. Now, I understand you have to start with the benefits, such as in this example right here. Okay, burner heat input, that's important. But my question is, so what? Tell me why that matters. Let me give you an example of someone who did it a little bit better. Look right here. Oh, and by the way, when people buy, 99% of the time it's an emotional decision. This is why it's so important to appeal to their emotions. They need to see how it benefits them. Okay, look at this. Under the headset glasses for virtual reality, they say 42 millimeter diameter Japan technology lens. My first question is, so what? But then they do give us a little bit of that benefit, better view performance. Okay, cool. Now they could have written it a little better. I think this is kind of lazy the way it was written, to be honest, but they could have said something like this. 42 millimeter diameter Japan technology lens, enabling you to have an incredible view. Something like that. Almost, you want them to get the feeling that they walked into a movie that's 3D and they feel like the monsters on the screen are jumping out of them. They can almost touch them. See that? How about this part right here? Soft, adjustable, elastic head straps with pillow back. I like that. When I hear the word pillow, I think of relaxing, laying my head down, right? Then it says support, and the Google's lightweight construction reduce head and neck strain. So the goggles. The grammar in here is not correct. It should have an apostrophe after the goggles, right there. Actually, it should be between the E and the S, right here. So the apostrophe is not good. That does not look professional. It does talk about reducing head and neck strain, which is excellent. I think a period right here would be nice after strain, a period after performance, even though it's not a full sentence. It just looks more sharp, kind of like they have one here, and they have one here, but they don't have one here, and they don't have one here. It's just not consistent. It does have some benefits, but it's not focusing on that. I'll never forget an Israeli friend who a friend of mine in Los Angeles told me, he said, Seth, everyone does everything they do for one of two reasons. It's either to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. And I've seen this. And so when you write your product description, ask yourself this question. What pain am I helping them to avoid? When it comes to this example right here, these headset glasses, I could say right here, reduces head and neck strain with lightweight, or the lightweight goggles reduce head and neck strain, period. Got it. Easy to see, easy to read, immediate benefit to me, right? And it's emotional. Soft, adjustable, elastic head straps with pillow feel back support that you will absolutely love. See what I mean? It's got to be more intensely emotional and relational. That's how you help someone to want to buy your product. You don't just give the facts. You move from facts, features, to benefits. So what? Oh, that's how it's going to help me. See? So when you write your product, just ask yourself this question: what pain am I helping them to avoid? What pleasures am I causing them to want? Okay, so let's look at another one. And I want to show you guys something. I really like this one. There's some things that are great, some things that aren't. Let me start with the title. The title is way too long. You do not need to fill it with every possible search term. Whoever made this title is a little confused about how Amazon works. With Amazon, you absolutely do not have to put everything in the title that you think they will search for. Not only does it look clunky and make it difficult to read, it is a waste of time. Let me explain. They could have just said 55 piece and they could have spelled it out. Stencil drawing kit with case for kids, or kids with art, whatever, kids who love art. The rest of this, educational toy, stencils, alphabetic stencils, letter, animal, blah, blah, blah. They could put that, if this was their description, if this is their product they're building, right here under search terms. Put all those words in here, and then it does the same thing, and your title doesn't look so clunky. However, I can see they worked really hard at making sure their description is relational, it's emotional, and it shows the benefit up front. Look at this. Develop artistic skill. That's awesome. What parent doesn't want their child to develop artistic skill? Then it goes and explains how. It's perfect for kids. A one-of-a-kind, okay, they're different. This is unique, right? You're going to miss your chance if you don't take this. Educational toy to help kids learn how to manipulate basic art tools to develop their artistic skills. And then bam, it starts to explain how. Really, really well done. I like this as well. Complete drawing kit. In other words, you're not going to miss out. People hate the feeling of missing out on something. Well, guess what, guys? This has everything, and now they explain all of it. And it even says that the carry case is large enough to hold your house's favorite markers, pens, or coloring books. In other words, oh my goodness, my little Johnny or Susie, they can run around the house or go to school, and they have their little kit, and they can put all their stuff in there and take it with them. See? The whole idea here is they're focusing on the benefit, not just the feature. Look at something else on here. It says, absolutely, right here, safe storage and easy travel. Again, this is really key to parents. Parents are all about safety for the kids, and they're all about easy travel because you know, if you're a parent, you know what a headache it can be to take your kids on a long trip. Oh my goodness, that means, wait, when we're on that 4-hour trip going across the Midwest, little Johnny and Susie in the back, they got their stencil kit, they're happy, and mom and dad are happy because they're not driving them crazy, asking to stop every 4 minutes to use the bathroom. Get the idea? This is really, really well written. I love it. Awesome job. Let me jump to something else. Let's go to eBay. I want to show you Banana Republic black and white dress. I want to show you a listing that's just terrible. And if you're posting on eBay, please, please avoid doing this. Look what it says. Banana Republic. Okay, nice. That's a name brand. Okay, cool. White, black dress. You really can't get more drab than that. White, black dress. Does that evoke any feeling? White, black dress. Not really, not for me, that's for sure. Okay, cut out and back, very sexy. Okay, a little bit focusing on the experience, so the woman who buys this feels sexy in it. That's good. But then it says zips up side, 33-inch length, 97 inches cotton. I think they mean percent, 3% spandex. It's lazy. It's just so pathetic. I'm just going to be blunt. It is absolutely pathetic. Don't be lazy when you do your product descriptions. When I read this, it's telling me, why would I buy it from someone who doesn't even care that much, right? I mean, it's that bad. I'm not even thinking about the dress. Of course, not that I'm going to get dressed, but I'm thinking about who is the person who would post this, okay? Now, let me give you a different example of someone who did this very well, and it's no wonder 12 sold in the last 24 hours. New sexy women denim skinny pants, high-waist stretch jeans, slim pencil. So notice a lot of the words up here are very specific to what a woman is going to want to search. Slim, if they're looking for stretch jeans, okay. High waist, that's coming back in style. denim, skinny pants, sexy. These are all things that a woman is probably, a lot of women at least, are going to want. Now, if I go down to the description itself, check this out. Okay, features 100% brand new, high quality. That's kind of lazy. Okay, high quality. Everyone says high quality. You know, they need to tell me why. Like, okay, is it a special hem? Is it the material? Where did the material come from? Give more proof. If you just say high quality, it's just like going, there's hot air. It doesn't mean anything. Super strong, elastic material offers you comfortable wearing experience without sense of tightening. Bam, killed it. Awesome job. Immediately, it puts the viewer into the experience of wearing this. And then it gets better. Bodycon Design can show your perfect curves and edges to the fullest. I mean, it's a little manipulative, to be honest. It's telling the reader that their curves are perfect, and it says it's going to show those perfect curves and edges to the fullest. In other words, this is a very alluring, provocative piece of clothing. Do you see what it's doing? It is feeding into what a woman is probably going to want to be looking for. It's helping her to already imagine, oh, wearing this, wow, and it feels sexy. It's gonna maximize my curves. And they also said my curves are perfect, so I gotta buy this. This is a really, really good example. Well done. So a while back, I built this company. It's an earn company. You are looking at it right now. It is saving memories, and it was really fun building this. And I sold it off. I sold this company. However, they really liked my product descriptions, and I feel honored that they kept them. So this is not me trying to boast and look all amazing, but I want to show you an example of how I would do it. And if there's anything here that's helpful, please feel free to use it. All right, so here we go. This right here is... Did it go back? And bam, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. This right here is a product that I used to sell for my company. All right. And I want to look here just for a moment at the description. Where? That was really important to me because, okay, let me just go back. This is an urn. It holds ashes of a loved one or a pet, and you're putting it in a necklace around your neck, as you can see in the picture of the beautiful lady here. See this right here? Bam, that is the urn right there with the ashes inside it worn around your neck. So it says, wear the memories of your loved ones close to your heart. You see that? If someone's mourning, if someone is in sorrow, if someone is right now suffering because they lost someone, wear the memories close to your heart. Like that shows compassion and empathy towards someone who just lost something versus just saying, only, it's a 1/4 inch thick, it's 8 inches wide across the front, it is 1 inch high from top to bottom, it is made of this steel, buy now, right? That's so artificial. The idea is it's trying to appeal to the emotion of whoever is wearing it. Now check this out. The Always With You pendant urn will not scratch. The hypoallergenic qualities protect your skin from allergic reactions. How many people like to itch? Hate that, right? It's avoiding pain. Remember the Israeli who's told me everything people do is either to avoid pain or gain pleasure? I'm going to have pleasure. I'm going to remember my loved one close to my heart, but I'm also going to avoid the pain of allergies. How about this one? The 316L stainless steel construction and a heat capacity of 2102 Fahrenheit. Instead of just saying high quality, this is high quality, get it, right? That's just a ridiculous statement. Of course, everyone's going to say if you asked any seller, is it high quality? What are they going to say? Nah, it's cheap. They're not going to say that, right? So this is really important. This is a little bit of evidence that this thing is high quality. Either it's a blatant lie or it's really cool. And I promise you this is true. A heat capacity of 2102 Fahrenheit is pretty high. Therefore, you never have to worry about your pendant corroding, rusting, or staining. How many times have you worn something like a necklace or a bracelet or a ring and you pulled it back and there's this little green on your skin? You know what I'm talking about? It's a horror, like, ooh, not only does it tell me my jewelry's cheap, it looks stupid. I want to be green. I'm not like the Hulk or something. Well, this is taking care of that pain and saying, I'm going to remove it for you. When you get this urn, you're going to have the pleasure of the memory. It's going to last a long time. It won't corrode. It won't rust. And you keep it with you. Adding pleasure, removing pain. Listen, super easy. Anytime you sell a product, take the time to write how it will add to their pleasure and remove their pain. In my next video tomorrow, I'm going to talk about formatting. As many of you guys know, a few months ago, Amazon removed the option to be able to put bullet points and bold in headers and things like that. Not in the first part, we have those little segments at the top describing the product, but down in the main block, product description of your page, of your product page. So I'm going to show you, there's just 4 HTML tags you can learn. They're very easy. I'll show you exactly how to do it so you can make that product description look twice as beautiful, and actually show you an example of building it and then show you the end result of that. Hey, I hope you have an awesome night. My name is Seth, Kniep'n It Real. Again, this is my favorite coin, the dime, because it represents no matter where you're at in life, take what you have and double it. If I just double this 20 times, it becomes 100,000. That 100,000 can do a whole lot for me. I just got to share this really quick. I was listening to a podcast this afternoon, and this guy said, you know what? Going from 30,000 to 60,000 was a lot harder for a company than going from 500,000 to $1 million. Why is that? The numbers don't actually get harder. You know what changes? You, me. You get better. You start learning to apply these principles of math, and it starts just to work for you. And the more you do that, the better you get. So it doesn't really matter where you're at on that spectrum of, I make 20,000 a year or 200,000 or 200 million. It doesn't matter so much. You can go from where you are and you can begin to double that and keep doing it by applying the same things. And the longer you do it, the better you get. Hey, have an awesome night. This is Seth Kniep'n It Real. Bye.